Hello, and welcome back to Miss Candy's Classroom, here for another tutorial video on Widgit Online. Today we're going to look at how to use Widgit Online to develop symbol-supported reading materials for reading materials that you already have. So I use Reading A to Z quite a bit in my classroom. It's a great resource for differentiated learning. There's lots of different reading levels, reading styles, fiction, nonfiction, lots of great resources there. But the one thing it lacks is symbol support for its reading books. So for my students who that symbol support is really, really important, I will create a symbol supported reading book for them in Widgit, and Widgit allows me to make a whole bunch of resources to go along with that. So let's pick one of our books here. You can see I've done a lot of them from my classroom. We're going to look at Crows on a Wire. And if you want some of these resources, if you'd like to download them, use them in your own classroom, please visit my Teachers Pay Teacher store, Miss Candy's Classroom, and you can find book by book downloads, a lot of free resources, and some great paid bundles. So I want to show you what resources we have here and what I've built out. So the first thing we have is the book itself. Now, if you're buying these in my Teachers Pay Teacher store, you won't get the book itself because that would violate copyright. These are meant to be used with Reading A to Z, not instead of Reading A to Z. But I want to show you how I set this up in my room so you can recreate these books with your Reading A to Z subscription on your own. Now, what I've done is I've taken a clip of the pictures of the book and then added the symbol support in their word processor program. You see, I've opened it right in the program. Now, this is really, really cool because you can literally edit this in this word processor program and create these books. And as you can see, the symbols pop up as you type. You don't have to select them yourself, although if you want a different style, you can change these out in the symbol library over here. We're going to put it back to the wire because that's what our book is about here. All right, you can see my symbol popped back up right there. Now, these can be downloaded as a PDF. They can be printed out for your students. These can be opened up in an iPad app. There is a Widgit Companion iPad app so that you can send files to their iPads and they can open and look at them right on the iPad. It's really, really cool. Now, if you're on my Teachers Pay Teacher store, I'm going to show you the sentence strip file. That's what you're going to get. You're going to get these sentence strips that you can cut and paste and either add to your printed Reading A to Z book. I love doing this with the printed ones because I can just add this sentence strip right over where the wording was in the book. And then my students who need visual support, their book looks just like everybody else's. It doesn't look any different. I've also done this with extension activities where I've printed 2 sentence strips, and then they have one as an example, and they have one that's laminated and cut apart that they can rearrange to recreate the sentence. A great activity to help with word recognition and vocabulary practice. So let's go back and we'll look at some of the other resources within that. So there's a lot of options for what you can do for activities to go with your reading in Widgit. So you can build comprehension quizzes. And these were done right in that same word processing software. You have your question and you have your options. So these can be printed out. The students can circle the right one. You could even have these cut out as icons where they could like have a star icon and they could put that over the correct one, or they can match the correct icon to the right one. There's lots of possibilities for how to do this. For questions that had blanks, you could literally have these as icons that are Velcroed, and they can add that to the blank. Lots of possibilities here. Now, whenever you're presenting new reading, it's really important to introduce and practice the new symbols and words that they'll be reading, just like you would with any other reading material. So this is a basic flashcards page. And I'll use this both as discrete trial training. I'll work with the first 3 words, have everything else covered up with a piece of construction paper, and we'll just look at, okay, which one's number 1? Point to it. Okay. Which one's landed? Can you point to that one? Okay. And once they're familiar with these 3, we'll move on down. I've also cut these up to use them as regular flashcards, laminated to give them to the students to play flashcard games. Great way to introduce and play with these. So just to give you a little quick view, this is the sentence strip page I talked about. So each one of these lines or sentences is a page in that book that you can then print, cut, and paste and add to your book. So you can make your own symbol supported book. So there are other activities that you can create. And again, these are super easy to create in the editor. It's type the sentence, drop in the icons. The titling and instructions are already there for you. So this is some simple matching, building recognition of the word to the symbol. There's a variety of spelling activities you can do. So I generally start with this one, which is the errorless. So you have the symbol, and then you have the word written in that dashed line that they can then trace. And sometimes I'll even put a line out here so that they trace it and then write it. A really great way to practice linking the words and the symbols. And then we have spelling that can be done either on the board as a work with me activity, or this can be done almost like a spelling test where they have the symbol and then they would write the word. So there's lots of different levels of building understanding with these activities of the vocabulary that you're going to be doing. All right. And last, there's lots of other activities that you can do. These are the basic ones that I have built in. There's also an option for a multiple choice with the symbol. Again, this is sort of more complex discrete trial training. So they have the symbol and they're going to pick which word goes with that symbol. Super easy to create. The template is already there for you in Widgit. You could also build like board games and stuff with the symbols. I'm going to be showing you how to do the games and some of the more complex activities in another video. But these are your basic activities that you can build symbol supported extensions to go with your reading materials, whether it's reading A to Z or something else. If you are interested in being able to use these already built resources with your program to augment your reading A to Z, again, please visit my Teachers Pay Teachers store, Miss Candy's Classroom, and like, share, and subscribe so I can create more videos for you.